Gentlemen, a wise man once said, if you're not doing what you love, you are wasting your time. I think we've wasted enough time, boys. I think it's time to get back at it. Ladies and gentlemen, for the 100th time, this is the Essential Wrestling Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Karl. I am the host of the Central Wrestling Podcast, powered as always by the Eastern Observer. You can taste the power. Tastes so good to be back. We apologize for a little bit of a hiatus we had to take. Long story short, work sucks. No, anyway. But we are back, ready to get to it. We're going 5 strong in celebration of episode 100. On the bottom right part of the screen, the first ever PWP champion, the living legend. And probably the person, I've been taking probably so many days off, you've probably been on the most. You were probably the senior member of this show, John Licani. Hopped on episode 4, I think it was, and I think he missed once because of your niece, which is understandable. So, John, how are things going down there, pal?
Very good, sir. It's a lovely day here in Jersey, and it's always good to be back with you, gents.
Yeah, glad to have you back. On the top right part of our screen.
And number 4, John Smith.
Don, how are things going? I haven't seen you like we're twinsies today, right? I'll turn your hat back. I'll turn my hat forward. How about that? We'll be twinsies today.
No, I'll go backwards for you.
There we go, buddy. How are things?
Things are good, man. I got my dual monitor set up now, so we're going all high tech. I thought at the beginning though that you apologized for your high anus for some reason.
Yeah, I have been told my anus does get a little high. Wait, what? Yeah, John, you got a new TV screen today? You dumped things down. You got a new monitor. How big's the new TV you got? Because the old one they had was pretty big. I enjoyed watching wrestling on that.
Yeah, that was a 65-inch. That's now in my son's room. I now have an 82-inch TV on my wall.
All right, Hell in the Cell at John Smith's house.
Life size Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus. John Smith, I'm going to try to make somewhat of a smooth transition from John Smith to our next co-host. We didn't, after WrestleMania, we haven't been on since our WrestleMania special, so we haven't really gone over last year's final standings in our Central Wrestling Podcast pool, sponsored, of course, as always, Pro Wrestling Pick'em, play against your friends, play against the universe. We have a new NXT champion. Gary Mehaffy pulls it out at the end, all the way from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Gary, our new NXT champion. And there you go, John Smith. I'm sorry, that's the most seamless transition I could possibly make for the team. Gary, how are you today, pal?
That's what I was just going to say. It's lovely to be back with 3 absolute gentlemen and John Smith. But no, what can I say? Do you know what I mean? What can I say? The natural skill, cream rises to the top. So,
speaking of the Central Wrestling Podcast pool, we have one person who is not with us right now. Maggie May Joy. Maggie May Spoiler, I think her nickname might be for the WWE pools going forward. She is our new WWE champion in the Central Wrestling Podcast pool, and she joins John Licani on the list of the very few as the Pro Wrestling Pick'em Originals champions. So shout out to Maggie May. We try to have her on for all of our WWE special, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and those special shows. Maggie, congratulations. She is our new WWE champion.
I was very close. I was only 304 points behind.
In fairness, Gary, that's just 3 WrestleMania main events.
Yeah.
You can tell who picked Brock Lesnar in this pool. But the rest, though, unfortunately, not unfortunately, it is fortunately, he actually Ryan got a full season of picks under his belt this season. He hopped on late the year before. So we have our new Impact champion edging out John DeConnie by 11 points. Ryan actually, I kind of goaded him into it, but it was irrelevant. He put his AEW title on the line, gave John DeConnie one last chance at St. Patrick's Day Slam. John DeConnie couldn't get it done. And then the most perfect pay-per-views, and this is how you get those big points. Ryan Joy, he led the way from that. Our overall PWP champion, 1,690 points, 240 wins, 86 losses on 46 shows from minutestobelltime.com. Ryan Joy, good job last season, buddy. Glad to have you.
180-point difference, holding my title up high.
Yes. That's it. We spare no expense here. I'm sure Joseph Kennedy Jarzanka nailed that championship down to you. Ryan, how are things going with you today, pal? Good?
Yeah, things are great. I just stole this off of my Hikaru Shida action figure. So.
I was actually going to say that looks like a women's AW, the old one, right? They got a new one. Right?
Yes, it's the old women's championship.
Okay, so we're going to roll right through it on today's episode for episode 100. Josh Alexander wins. With his first successful title defense at Under Siege. Braun Breaker with a successful title defense at Spring Breakin'. As you can see, Gary Mehaffy, he is with us to discuss NXT UK and the World of Darkness Women's Championship match. I thought that was really fun. And not to mention, we got a huge championship match coming up this Thursday on NXT UK's 200th episode. So we're doing 100. They're going to do 2. That's going to be a lot of fun. We make our picks for this week's upcoming shows. You're going to see the graphics and statistics, or more just graphics right now. We're going to get some stats back, Ryan. I used to love the records on all these graphics.
Well, you've got the graphics. The stats.
You got the graphics. They're presented by... What's that?
Stats will have to wait.
Okay, that's what I figured. I enjoyed those. I like to see that. Especially with the way that John Moxley was when we first started doing this. He was on a tear.
Yes.
Presented by minutestobelltime.com, and of course the matches that we're going to pick are always sponsored by prowrestlingpick'em.com. Play against your friends, play against the universe. And guys, especially Tim Anderson, we're looking at you right now if you're watching. She'll like it too. Apparently he didn't get that joke when I posted it on the Minutes to Bell Time thread the other day. Who's she? I'm like, okay. Let's in the basement. Okay, we're going to main event the show with All Elite Wrestling in the beginning of the Owen Hart Foundation tournaments. Brackets galore. We got 3 tournaments starting. With one of the NXT. We'll get to that as well. Here are the Raw roll-up standings. We've missed a couple, but John DeConnie and myself, John, thank you so much for helping me keep track of this. Here are the Raw roll-up standings going forward, still aptly named, with Raw with a 2 roll-up lead on AEW. Impact, SmackDown not too far behind, and SmackDown's got a hidden gem. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Gary up there, NXT UK with 8. I'm a little shocked with NXT 2.0.
They haven't had roll-up class.
I haven't taught that class yet, right? I mean, it's still Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard writing it, and yet they just refuse to roll each other up. I don't get it.
I think it's Matt Riddle going to take roll-up classes
from there. Here are our standings. Oh, what did I do? Oh, yeah, standings started. There we go. Perfect. We did miss a show during our hiatus. We did miss Rebellion. So here are our new standings in this season. That was the only show that we missed that accounted for. And Travis Severance, like a bat out of hell, going 6-2, 57 points. Rebellion was a big show, one of the big 4 for Impact, so I had a little bit higher point values, the 15-point title match. There was a boatload of interpromotional matches. Ryan right behind him, John DeConnie. Myself and Gary Johnson, we went below 500 on that show, so we're looking to turn it around. It is still early, like you saw in the last season's graphics, 46 shows. This was show 1. We're good. There's a lot of more fun ready to be had. And if you care to join us like Tim Anderson just did on Ryan's thread, please go to prowrestlingpick'em.com. Join the Essential Wrestling Podcast pool for the 2022-2023 season. But we're going to curtain jerk the show with a sneaky, impressive Raw Premium. What is it? Premium
live event.
Special live event. WrestleMania Backlash. Didn't look so well on paper. I wasn't too excited about it. I sat down, watched it cover to cover. I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially the main event, John DeConnie, supposed to be tag team title unification match. I guess we'll eventually get to that, as you saw last night. But Roman Reigns tore up that contract, wants nothing to do with that. He wanted himself in, bring Drew McIntyre into the picture, and we had a honey of a main event.
Yeah, this card snuck up on us because, you know, the stories going into it, was a lot of rehashes from WrestleMania. So I can honestly say I was not excited in the least going into this show. And every match I thought really was better than I expected, especially the ones that I didn't expect to be that good at all were were better than expected. The main event, you knew with those 6 talents in there, you were going to get a good match. And for 20 plus minutes, they did exactly what you expected. They tore it up. There were, spots and finishers back and forth and close calls aplenty. And then it ended with Riddle springing to the top buckle to meet Jey Uso, pulling him off into a super RKO. And then as soon as Riddle got up to kind of either celebrate or turn around and get into the cover, he was essentially cut in half by a spear by the tribal chief, and a 1-2-3, and the bloodline takes it over RK McBro.
RK McBro. Yeah, just the one point Randy Orton hit that RKO on Roman. That was Michael Cole popped huge for that. I think the crowd did as well. Maybe at some point, I don't think Roman and Randy have crossed for a long time now. It's been a while. They're on different shows. I know they're going to go back to that from what I saw. They're going back to the exclusivity, right? I guess from what I hear. So we may not see that match until after a shakeup. But that's one guy on Roman's list we haven't gotten to yet. Ronda Rousey defeated Charlotte Flair in an I Quit match. Charlotte said I quit after Ronda Rousey had an armbar entangled into a chair. It was Mother's Day on Sunday. For those of you, happy Mother's Day for those who celebrate or identifies themselves as celebrating, right? I have to say that correctly. That one was kind of a layup. I mean, I didn't really expect Charlotte was taking time off, but Ronda Rousey, not in her to say I quit. So good for Ronda Rousey. She's now the 11th SmackDown Women's Champion of all time. I think the 8th person to hold both titles. So that's actually pretty weird. John Smith, we had here we go, WrestleMania rematches. So that was one, and then we had Edge and AJ Styles.
Yeah, and this one was actually better than the WrestleMania match, in my opinion. There's a lot more, heat behind it. A lot more, now that the Judgment Day is involved, things are a lot more heated between them. And then Damian Priest was barred from ringside, but the aisle, I guess, is not considered ringside because after we get a hell of a match between these two for about almost 15 minutes, you get Damian Priest out on the ramp, and then AJ is like, he's not supposed to be out here. And then all of a sudden, somebody jumps up on the ring in a hood, distracting. Edge gets the win because of it. I don't remember exactly how it ended, but it was just like, it was more about who the heck was that, And, I couldn't think of who it might be, and then it ended up being not even a dude. It was Rhea Ripley.
Who is that masked man?
Yeah. And it's like this is like the type of thing that that character has been waiting for years, because she's been a face this whole time, and that's not a very face gimmick she's got in general. So I think she's gonna run with this. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, Bianca Belair's in trouble. I like that has going. Yeah, it was funny. Who is that masked man? Oh, not even a man. Okay. The match ended with it was like a crossface sleeper submission hold. AJ Styles ended up passing out. So nice little clever finish there. Another WrestleMania rematch. This one actually curtain jerked the show. Jerked off the show. Ryan Floyd.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, and I thought this match was actually very good. There was the big story was that Cody surprised Seth at WrestleMania. So now you have that whole element of surprise taken away, and it did seem like they really leaned into that because they countered each other's moves constantly throughout the match. Ultimately, it ended up with Seth Rollins rolling up Cody, hooking the tights, Cody rolling through, hooking the tights on Rollins, and that led to the pinfall victory for Cody. So, good match. This must continue.
Yeah, like I say, and we found that later on Raw that Seth's not letting us go. Now, John Smith, we do have, I know you had Cody is trash, but like I said, wise men quotes today. This is my second one. First one was Billy Joel. This one from Yunosuke Shigata. Just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things. It's called garbage can, not garbage cannot.
There you go, John Smith.
Send
Take
it to
that.
Cody.
Exactly. Cody's trash, but it's garbage can, not garbage cannot. Gary, another the third or the fourth WrestleMania rematch. This one a little bit different now. MVP jumping ship to the other side. He wasn't even at WrestleMania. He wasn't in anyone's corner. I know. I guess Lashley left him in the back, but now he's with Omos. And Lashley got to win the WrestleMania rematches right now. Cody, that's 2. Edge, that's 2. Charlotte with the split. So how'd this one go?
To be fair, it's a good match. When Omos is on offense, he's getting better. He seems to be copying. There was like a Kevin Nash Snake Eyes. You've got a Hulk Hogan big boot. You had the attempt at a Stinger splash. He had all that, and he was taking that. And there was a lot of back and forth. He did eventually, after he was trying to go through him and take it to Lashley. Lashley did get the hurt lock on, but he poured out. And after Lashley hit him then with the spine buster, you did have, it has to be said, MVP who got involved, hitting him with the cane up around somewhere in the head, I suppose. And almost hit the tree slam, took the win, which I'm not saying cost me my headache, because it didn't, because I got other ones wrong. But I did think Lashley was going to beat him in this one as well. But they're behind Omos, and he does continue to get better. And I think linking him with MVP is a good thing too. So,
yeah, and I did notice that Omos now does have a new nickname. He is now the Nigerian Giant, which is great. But did Apollo Crews just get put on the next set of releases? I think I just put the nail in Apollo Crews' coffin, unfortunately.
I actually rewound it. When I heard them call him that, I went, what? And rewound because I thought it was wrong. I went, oh no, they have called him that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it's the Nigerian nail on the coffin.
Yeah.
The Nigerian nail. Yeah, WrestleMania. Very nice. Touché. And then another match. Madcap Moss defeated Happy Corbin. I know the story was for Madcap Moss to win this, but the whole thing with Baron Corbin going into WrestleMania is that no one beat him. You know, so he's got a record. Now he's lost twice. So Madcap Moss with the sunset flip, check for SmackDown. Roll up style. So those are the 6 matches. Here are this is how we did. Ryan nailed it, perfect, 6-0. Maggie May went 5-1. She was with me. I thought Baron Corbin had that one. Happy Corbin, excuse me. John DeConnie went 5-1. John Smith 4-2. Gary, I went 3-3. Travis 4-2. Travis, myself, and Gary, I think we all did. We bet against the Bloodline. It's just something that we figured. I figured, you know what? It's a tag match. Jimmy Uso you can eat a pin here. I need an RKO. It doesn't even have to be McIntyre with the win or anything, you know. But no, Roman's always has to look strong, and I don't have a problem with that. I guess wrong. So we're going to rewind real quick before Backlash to Friday Night SmackDown. A couple things that were not Backlash related. There was a big tables match, John DeConnie. I guess the big question the past couple of weeks, Pat McAfee, especially concerned. What the hell is Butch?
Yeah. Yeah, and so that kind of loomed over this match the whole time. And the match was only about 12 and a half minutes, and we didn't get the answer until about 12 minutes in. Of course, they were deliciously violent to each other the whole way through. But about the 12-minute mark, Butch popped up from under the ring, where apparently he was the whole time. And that caused kind of swung things back to Sheamus and Holland as things had been going back and forth. But then Sheamus and Holland would double team Woods to put him through a table with a double choke slam. And that, those are your winners right there, Sheamus and Ridge Holland over
Where
the
did
New
Ma-
Day,
where did
who were
McAfee keep
no
on
longer
saying he
announced as
thought
the
Butch was? Where did McAfee keep saying he thought Butch was? It was some type of vacation spot. I can't remember where it was. But anyway.
They had pictures of him on the Vegas Strip and all over the place. But apparently, he was just clinging to the underside of the ring.
Yeah, he was under the ring playing cards with Hornswoggle. Where else would you be? Shinsuke Nakamura was backstage. He hasn't forgotten about what the Bloodline did to Rick Boogs and then did to him. When the time is right, Nakamura's going to get his revenge. But Sami Zayn just happens to be eavesdropping on the conversation. So later in the night, we fast forward. Sami let Paul Heyman know that he'll be the one to take out Nakamura, so Roman doesn't have to worry about it. Sami playing a little kiss ass here with Heyman and the Bloodline for whatever reason. He's acknowledging Roman Reigns legitimately. Sami trying to get some cred and respect back, I believe was what he was trying to do. Sami Zayn actually went out to defeat Shinsuke Nakamura via count out. Sami Zayn proving once again it's not 3 seconds that Sami can beat you. He's so good, he beats you in 10 seconds. That's how good Sami Zayn is. Roman Reigns should be pleased with that effort. Gary, I know you mentioned you didn't watch SmackDown. John DeConnie laid a little challenge for you in pre-production. Drew Gulak was in the ring. Seems to be raining bleep all over him lately. Comedy of errors. But he's actually going to be in his happy place now. He's in the ring against this mystery opponent, which just happens to be Gunta. How do you think this match went?
I'm going to think chop, chop. Tiny man gets a bit of offense in. Chop, chop, powerbomb. Would that be close? Would that be a big...
It was the powerbomb win. Yeah. I don't know the exact time, John DeCon, if you want to see what the...
Walter's twin brother.
204.
2:04, 2 minutes 4 seconds. Make quick work of Drew Gulak. Ludwig, I don't remember Bartel's new name, but he plays his part so well. You just want to punch him every time you see him. He's so good. He's like a heel's heel, the face of the. Oh, it's perfect. And then we have one match booked for Friday night in a non-title singles match, as is tradition. The WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Sasha Banks, she did not get the win in singles action, losing to Shayna Baszler. Shayna actually threw up a Raw roll-up for once. Normally, she's the one getting rolled up. Not this time. Hooked the bottom ropes with her feet. Post-match beatdown by Shayna with Natalya. Sasha and Naomi fight back, send the challengers on their way. We have a tag team championship match this Friday on SmackDown. We do not have a graphic for it. I forgot about that one. I guess I should have looked at my notes a little more carefully. But Gary Mehaffy, we have a women's tag team championship match. What do you got? Who do you got? Sorry.
I forgot that was even happening. That just shows you what I'm going. Who is it again?
It's Natty. It's Sasha Banks and Naomi defending against Natalya and Shayna Baszler.
I'm gonna say Natty and Shayna Baszler.
Well, we got new champions. Okay,
yeah,
John
I still think Sasha Banks is miscast and needs to be a heel. So I'm gonna say they're gonna take the titles and she's gonna turn. Why not? Go for that.
All right, that wouldn't. Sasha Banks is known to do that, John DeCon.
Yeah, she's definitely adept at stabbing former friends in the back. I don't think it's time for that yet, so I'm gonna say they hold on to him for now. But I certainly wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Ryan Joy, is Shayna I don't think Shayna has been rolled up yet, if not once. She's not on the hit list as high as she was, I would think, last calendar year, where it seemed like every week we were saying Shayna Baszler getting rolled up.
You know, the only time the women's champions win matches is when they're defending the titles. So I'm going to go ahead and pick them. And we'll see. There's something to what Gary's saying, though. Like, who's going to fight Ronda Rousey? You know, Sasha Banks would probably be the best bet, but maybe they want to save that for a bigger show. I don't know.
Yeah, Ronda's. Yeah, who's over there on SmackDown? Is Lacey's not going to be on SmackDown, right?
No.
I don't know she is on SmackDown. That's where she walked out of. Then last night they just did the video. Yeah, there's Lacey over there.
Carmel,
John Smith.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Natalia and Baszler on this one because Natalia's been doing some stuff in NXT, and it'll make her look stronger if she's got a belt on her shoulder over there.
There you go. I'll go with the title retention. I don't like betting against Sasha Banks, but I guess been wrong before. About last night on Raw, we have our WrestleMania Backlash night after WrestleMania Backlash. Is that it was main evented. It was Bianca Belair against Asuka. Bianca Belair won by disqualification after Becky Lynch dragged Bianca out of the ring and then threw her into the ring steps, manhandle slam on Asuka. There's a lot going on with Asuka and Becky Lynch. They had a little altercation again backstage where Becky's saying that she handed Asuka the belt. She didn't really earn it, not earning this opportunity. And then Asuka would say Becky's not a mommy, she's a baby. So it's actually kind of fun little feud. I love these two fighting. Keep going forward. Cody Rhodes had an impromptu. I don't say impromptu. They announced it probably an hour before the show, but they kept on drilling it into the ground that the show was at 10 p.m. Eastern. Now that match was at 10 p.m. Eastern. I thought that was really random. I never heard them do that really. Cody Rhodes got the win against Austin Theory, but via disqualification after Seth Rollins jumped Cody from behind. Rhodes trying to get past this whole Rollins feud. He beat him twice. He's done and done, as he said in the pre-match interview. Rollins doesn't seem to be done with it. And remember, it's not Garbage Ken, or it is Garbage Ken, not Garbage Ken not.
Seems like that's how
they did that whole 10 p.m. thing, so I knew when to turn the TV off.
You want to switch over to the hockey game or the basketball game?
I think there are a lot of people that turn off at 10, which is maybe
RK Bro started the show in the ring. They still want to unify the tag team titles. They're going to go to SmackDown this Friday to make the challenge to the Usos via Roman Reigns, because we know the Usos, they're saying the Usos can't think for themselves. A little bit of point there. The Street Profits interrupt. They want to be the ones to unify the tag team titles. And, of course, they want the smoke as well, Ryan Joy. But we start the show off with a Raw Tag Team Championship match.
Yeah, Street Profits, they got next. 10-minute match here. And, toward the end, Montez Ford starts that climb. He climbs and he climbs and he climbs and he gets to heaven. And he looks down and there's Riddle's carcass laying there in the mat. And he does the leap from the heavens. Riddle immediately stands up and gives him an RKO. 1, 2, 3. And that is your finish. Love a good RKO out of nowhere.
Randy apparently loves seeing an RKO out of nowhere. The look on Randy's oh my God, he was very impressed. And then Riddle was amped after that. Normally you see him laughing like Joe. Riddle was pumped after that RKO. That was a fun little end right there. Just not even in the wrestling, just the facial gestures of those two. I thought that was pretty fun. John Smith, as you alluded to when we were breaking down Backlash, the Judgment Day had a great night that night. They got Rhea Ripley on the squad now. Edge actually got a haircut just so he could look like Rhea Ripley. Judgment Day in-ring promo, some things said, their movement's not done, yada, yada, yada. Both Rhea and Edge took some shots at Liv Morgan, so Liv Morgan appeared, and we have a match here against two former tag team partners.
Yeah, and Liv was never really able to get the upper hand in this one, man. Rhea just looked dominant, and she just kept slapping her down. And at one point, she was just driving her face into the mat over and over again. Every time Liv got one move in, the next move was countered. It was just domination by Rhea, where at the end, she slapped Liv's legs away when she was doing some springboard off the ropes BS, and just grabbed her in that reverse the reverse cloverleaf looking thing where she hangs them upside down by their legs and tears their knee apart. Liv immediately taps out. They celebrate in the ring, the Judgment Day, all three of them, and then she grabs her again and does the move to her for another about 15 seconds. And not until she lets go does Finn Balor decide to let his music get hit and come out. And so I guess he's been taking pointers from Humberto Carrillo, even though they're not, it's not his job to save Liv, but he was standing right there waiting to come out next. Why didn't he help out?
I'm going to see where this goes.
Yeah, exactly. So then AJ Styles comes out after that because he's gonna be by Balor's side for this. So he couldn't help out either.
Oh, just time out, not time out. I just don't know why I'm laughing. I'm just like picturing the guy that's got his finger like this, waiting to hit Balor's music. Balor's like, no, wait. And then she lets go. All right, now. And just the guy, like, you're an asshole. You know? And then it's the music for Balor's asshole.
So we follow that matchup with Priest versus Balor. Balor got the upper hand right off the bat, but then Priest smacks him down, starts, putting on rest holds, same old heel stuff. And then once Balor gets the momentum back and clotheslines Priest over the top ropes, Rhea Ripley gets in the way of a tope suicida or some sort of attempt that Balor was going to make. So Balor stops. He starts yelling at the ref, and he gets speared out of nowhere by Edge for the DQ. And then AJ comes in and tackles Edge, and then everything's going on, and then Edge ends up spearing AJ Styles also. So we got some domination by Judgment Day. The Judgment Day.
I think there was a leg sweep by Damian Priest to go with that spear, like total elimination style. On Styles.
Total elimination.
Cool.
I did not notice that. I'm gonna go back and watch that.
Yeah, there was a leg sweep by Priest at the same time. They pulled it off. They executed it well. The investigation of Sonya Deville's behavior as of late has been concluded. Recklessly and unprofessionally abused her power. Anyway, so she's been terminated as an official, but she's still a superstar. So that match she lost to Mandy Rose is now completely irrelevant. But whatever, she can just go back to be a 100% ass kicker. I'm excited. And well, maybe after last night, she can go back to be 100% ass kicker. Returning Alexa Bliss made short work of a pretty shocked Sonya Deville. I don't think she was expecting to be terminated. Alexa Bliss, I believe, got it done in less than a minute, right? 40 seconds, John Connie?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Alexa Bliss, she's got her old music back. So that was fun. She's still carrying around Lily. Big crowd pop. Alexa Bliss now back a part of the Raw roster. She's been missed. So welcome to have her back. This whole Kevin Owens and Alpha Academy backstage segment was absolutely, they're just there you go. These guys are just absolute gold together. Apparently Kevin Owens' brother Ken, who is a 3-time Grand Prix racing champion in Nova Scotia, he's going to be taking on Ezekiel last night. And also it was, I guess, there was a solo cup that Ezekiel drank from. Chad Gable knows somebody at the DNA company, like the DNA company. Oh, the DNA, that's awesome. So apparently there's going to be
the DNA lab.
DNA results questions coming in, and whether or not Ezekiel and Elias are the same person. And every time I said I haven't watched wrestling in a bit, they kept on saying Ezekiel. I thought they were saying Ezekiel Jackson. I'm like, why is this even a question? How he could be Elias's brother? But I guess I was way off. DNA lab, excuse me. It makes sense. Chad Gable friends anywhere. Kevin Owens lost his mind. He tried to prove a point with Ken Owens thing. That didn't work. He just beat down Ezekiel along with the Alpha Academy. People are in an uproar. Okay, with this. People have been in an uproar in the past about using deceased wrestlers in story angles. Eddie Guerrero, Paul Bearer, as recent as Jimmy and Neidhart, and I had one more example. Oh, the whole Reed Flair thing when Paige brought up Reed Flair. Okay, a little bit of an uproar. Why is nobody complaining about Elias being used in this storyline?
Elias isn't dead.
He's not dead.
Elias, I thought he's dead.
No,
he threw his guitar in the fire and walked away, and nobody ever seen him since.
John DeConnie, you kind of the same like I do right now.
When
I thought he was dead.
Yeah, well, when he threw the guitar in the fire, he said, Elias is dead. Now, there was somebody actually saying it, so that man is still with us, but, Elias
Does that mean
dead.
Elias committed suicide after he threw his guitar in the fire?
I have no idea. I thought the whole when Ezekiel came in, I thought he said that Elias was dead. Okay.
I think we answered the question, Al, because there's too much confusion about whether Elias is alive or dead. That's why nobody is up to talk about it.
Yesterday, Ezekiel said that he wishes that his brother was here right now so he could
Yeah.
sing a lullaby for whoever he was talking to. I forget.
Yeah, Kevin Owens. Ken Owens. Is it Ken or Kevin?
It's a
Ken
Ken
Owens.
Owens.
Yes, Ken Owens.
Here we go. Ryan Joy going against your point. The WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, they had a non-title match against Doudrop and Nikki Ash, and they got the win after the champs hit Rents Due. I guess they're naming their double team finisher on Nikki ASH. Post-match, Doudrop wasn't happy with Nikki, didn't tag her. When Doudrop asked for it, Doudrop repeatedly in Nikki's face post-match, you need to take this more seriously. Or something of that nature. So, Gary, I know you like your Scottish women. I thought they were going to be a nice little tag team for you. It doesn't look like they're getting along. Maybe Nikki Cross comes back as a result of this. I think that would be a fun little team up with Doudrop.
I mean, I was really pleased actually when I heard that paired them up because obviously they're both ICW and stuff from over here, and it was like I think they'll be good. They'll work well together. They'll be good.
Ciampa defeated Mustafa Ali with an inverted DDT. You don't see too many people getting, a pin on an inverted DDT. I mean, I'm not going to blame the referee on that one. This was appointed by Mr. McMahon to be the referee in that match. I thought it was a legitimate count. Anyway, Veer Mahan defeated In Action with a cervical clutch, which I'm not sure how that move hurts a man's cervix. But hey, WWE, am I right? And then they had a VIP lounge segment with a special guest Omos gloating about the win at win against Lashley at Backlash, interrupted by Cedric Alexander, who's looking to again join MVP. I'm watching that match at Backlash, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, they need to put Lashley back together with Cedric and Seti, Shelton and Seti. I think to get the Hurt Business back together without MVP, I thought that'd be a lot of fun. But Cedric wants to join MVP. Lashley came out, wrecked house. We're going to have a steel cage match next Monday night. I don't remember MVP being able to climb the cage all too much. I know his cane can fit in the chain link. I won't do that gesture again. Holes. John Smith, who do you like in this one?
What's the match again?
It's Bobby Lashley and Omos in a steel cage.
Oh, the steel cage. Give me Omos still.
Omos. Is he going to climb out of the cage, John? Climb out of the cage to escape? We're just going to step over it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Since he is so nimble. Give me Omos. And as you were saying, if you put Lashley back together with Shelton and Seti, then maybe Apollo Crews isn't on his way out because then you could have a three-man Nigerian contingent to battle with him.
That would be awesome. Ryan Joy, you like
MVP's
that?
from Miami.
Wait, who's from Miami, Cedric?
No, MVP.
MVP's from Miami? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you like in the cage, Ryan?
Oh, neither of them really. I think a Moss is going to take the match. It feels like all the momentum is going his way. I don't think that they're focusing on Lashley right now.
Gary.
Yeah, I think with Omos, as I say, given the Kevin Nash stuff and the Hogan stuff and the Stinger Splash, what I'm waiting is on Omos to start to climb out the cage, get to the top, and do a Superfly splash back in. But I still think Omos to win again. Actually, I think Omos will take it. So.
Well, Jeff Hardy's not in WWE. He can use the swanton off the cage if he really wants to. I mean, obviously, the shooting stars out of the question, but if he wants to do a swanton off the top of the cage, that'd be incredible. I'm going to go Omos too. Keep that rolling. Him and MVP, let that go. Even though, I mean, where are they going to? How about either of them? Where do they go after this? There's no champion on Raw right now, so who knows? So Ryan, John, we're going to bid you adieu for the time being. You will see you guys later on the show. I got a little bit of a bone to pick with Gary. I really don't. That's the only way. they could do a one-on-one. But we're gonna go with some NXT UK. So, gentlemen, we will see you in a bit. We'll get that off. Boom, there we go. Gary, what do we got? We had a World of Darkness women's championship match in NXT UK. Ironically enough, the same weekend, the Multiverse of Madness came out, and the Scarlet Witch, very big into that movie. So it's a fun little timing here, and then also with Mother's Day weekend with that movie is a little bit too soon. But anyway, that's a joke for Marvel fans. Anyway, so how did this go? I'm loving where Isla stepped up here. I really enjoyed this.
It has been really good, especially with like B Priestley or whatever, like being out. I'll say B Priestley. So with her being off because she's been injured, but no, Isla did step up, including, it has to be said, she brought all sorts of things out from under the ring and all sorts of foreign objects, including Danny Luna's hair. I was
wondering what she was doing with all this stuff.
But I loved that as a throwback because, but although it ended up, I thought Isla Dawn was going to win the title, and obviously she didn't in the end when Mako won. But to even have the throwback to remind everybody, oh yeah, Danny Luna's here, who obviously had been out injured, and for the commentators to be hammering that home, it's Danny Luna's hair. I thought, okay, that's a link that'll play in down the line as well. But both of them, to be fair, were absolutely laying it into each other, like including whenever Mako was tied up on the ring post, and Isla was hitting her with the rope and so on, like with the proper big thick rope. Like they were, neither of the two of them were holding back in the slightest. And say obviously we then just fought through and had the chair assisted Scorpio racing for the pin, and Mako retained, which was surprising, but or surprising to me. But as I say, I was pleased to see it because she is great. So, but it was a really, really good match, and as you say, Isla has really stepped up. It's a really good character, actually. So it's.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a great. She's really done a lot. She's a day one girl. She's been there since the beginning, and you can see. You kind of looked at that and like, okay, well, what the hell is she going to do with this? And she ran with it. She wanted to do this White Witch style character, and she was stealing stuff from Danny Luna's, like, and she's not even getting receipts for anything either. Like she took something from Amelia McKenzie, and then it was like, okay, fine, whatever.
I mean, she's always done that sort of a character. Even years ago, there was an all-female show here in Belfast, and she was on it, and she was a lot younger, but she was still doing that sort of a witchy type character, and it's okay. But to see how she's developed it to get where it is now is brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Show started with the Supernova sessions. A little bit different. It was in the ring, and both Noam and Shah were a little smitten with NXT's Lash Legend. I wasn't expecting her to be on this show.
No, I mean, there were so many NXT 2.0 people on this episode. I was going to say John Smith should review it, but then I came top of the rankings, so probably it's better for me to do it. But,
yeah, this is they're both your neck goes, right? So they wasn't really much here. The Shah and Noam were trying to kind of one up each other, trying to woo, I guess.
Yeah, both giving her flowers, except Noam's flowers were a bit limp, so not going to get much there. But it was more to put her over, and hopefully it will help. The like of her, I think, who needs the time, being over here for a couple of weeks to do stuff, I think should be good. So.
Well, she's got double duty because she's going to be in that Breakouts tournament starting tonight. Yeah. So we're going to see a lot of Lash Legend, apparently. During that show, Shaw had some type of odds board. It didn't say what the odds were for. I guess it was the list of the NXT 2.0 superstars who were going overseas for this, for this film bit. One was Damon Kemp. And like, who? And it was like 401 odds on whatever. So they met in the locker room. I didn't know who Damon Kemp was either. But apparently Damon Kemp had a match made of stone Danny.
Yeah. Although
you ever see that on his knee pad? It says "Man of Stone."
I sat after the match. There was a tweet came out from the BT Sport or WWE on BT Sport because it's shown on BT Sport here as well, and they went, "Well done to Damon Kemp defeating Shah Samuels in his first match." And I replied, No.
No.
Yeah, it was Danny Jones, who I'm pleased to say he is good, and he's actually becoming like a wee bit of a cult figure with some of the fans as well.
Oh,
So
he's the new Jack Stars. Yeah, it's man.
Exactly.
And he's got the one knee pad that says "Man of Stars." That's it. I'm sold. I'm sold on Danny Jones. Stay as long as he wants.
Yeah.
Karl.
No. But again, Damon Kemp, again, I think it'll be good for him, and obviously getting the Roman Power Slam for the win at the end. But it'll be good for him to get a bit of time against different people over here. So,
new superstar Tiger Turan.
yeah.
I never heard of this guy. I've heard of Tiger Mask. Whatever. My cats love this guy, apparently. He defeated In Action with a flipping senton at the top turnbuckle to win his NXT UK debut. Kenny Williams in the back freaking out after this. Is this what we think it is?
I assume so. I remember here, I was like, somebody, I think when there was like something last week about him coming, somebody was like, oh, yes, is this Amir Jordan? I was like, what? And then I looked at it again and went, okay, it might be. I thought, clever. I like that. This is good. Bring him back in the funny way, and to have Kenny Williams being the one who's freaking out really plays into it, so it should make it obvious. So
yeah, Amir Jordan lost a loser leaves NXT UK, which we're going to discuss in a little bit. Another one of those matches.
Yeah.
He lost the loser leaves NXT UK to Kenny Williams, and we were both thinking, okay, we'll send Amir over, let him go for the cruiserweight title, and then that never happened, and now the cruiserweight title's gone. Yeah. So
I mean, I actually quite hope they could make it like whenever Hulk Hogan was Mr. America, and it was all like it's Mr. America, and he's like, no, it's not, and was lifting the mask up. That Kenny Williams could be he's banned from NXT UK. Yeah. He was really talking about it's not me. Oh yes, that could be good fun.
There's a De Familia video package celebrating the recent successes. And they're looking forward to the future. Tealman and Rohan have an opportunity to tag titles. I guess that'll be in not this Thursday, but the following Thursday. And Charlie Dempsey has a rematch coming with A-Kid. So there you go, Garrett. Winner is you coming up.
Yeah.
There was a backstage segment with Sin Scala. He announced that there will be the tag team. There's going to be a triple threat tag team championship match coming up. There's going to be qualifiers to name the two challenging teams for Mustache Mountain. We'll get to that in a second. It was interrupted by Von Wagner. He was one of the guys that was on Shaw Samuel's list.
I thought it was interesting, actually.
Gradwell. So it looks like we're going to get Sam Gradwell versus Von Wagner coming up at some point.
I did think it was interesting with Sid Scala did say, when he talked about the tag team thing, did say about some new tag teams in NXT UK will have new. And I thought, well, they're going to bring some different teams in. So I know Pretty Deadly have gone across, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard. I've literally heard nothing. But it'd be interesting to see what does happen. So,
well, De Familia is planning to be one of the teams, and then we have one match set for this Thursday on the 200th episode of NXT UK. We got Ashton Smith and Oliver Carter going against the Coffee Boys, Gallus Boys on top. Wolfie, I guess, staying with the singles action. I guess Wolfie and Joe switched it up a little bit. Coffee Boys, we got brothers here in action, and then the winner of this will be, I guess, entered into that tag team championship triple threat match. So who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Smith and Carter. I think there's something brewing, some sort of split in Gallus coming, and maybe a heel turn from Joe. But I'm gonna go Smith and Carter again. That they're gonna go in and have another kind of match or involved in the match with Mustache Mountain again. So.
I like the Gallus Boys on top. I like the Coffee Boys, the Coffee Brothers going against. It's just Joe Coffee is just so good today. I don't want to against them, but they, like I said, I thought Smith and Carter were having a little bit of a riff. I guess that was settled during the tag team championship, the original match with that whole feud with Mustache Mountain. Yeah. They just had a whole series of matches, but like 4 or 5 matches, whether it be singles competition or whatever, with Mustache Mountain. So I just will give them a pause for now. Because they can just, if Mustache Mountain's going to lose the titles in this match particularly, then you can just throw Smith and Carter right in against the winners, and you got a fresh new. And so, yeah, I'm going to go with Gallus here. Yeah. Ivy Nile, another one on Shaw Samuel odds board, I guess you want to talk about it. Ivy Nile is going to be making her debut representing NXT and the Diamond Mine. Nina Samuels, she didn't like this. She was on the Nina Samuels show for 5 seconds saying that she's going to be the one to put Ivy Nile back in her place, I guess, for lack of, I forget what she said. But over under here, it's got 4 minutes.
Yeah, under, I would say. I think, speaking of odds, I really don't like Nina Samuels' odds in this match. I don't think I'll not be putting any money there. No.
And then we got the big one here before we let you go. The 200th episode, it's only fitting that they have an NXT UK Championship match. It's going to be Dragunov Devlin 2. I believe they were showing highlights of Ilya Dragunov with his hands zip tied behind his back, hitting Torpedo, whatever the name of his finisher is. Now, on Jordan Devlin for the win last time. This one is, just like we mentioned with Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan, this one will also be Loser Leaves NXT UK. So, end of a chapter here for somebody. Both of these men have been overseas in NXT already. Jordan Devlin was at Stand and Deliver last year, won the Unification Cruiserweight Championship match. And then Dragunov recently, this past summer, was on an NXT UK takeover, NXT takeover, whatever it was, SummerSlam weekend. And he did the impossible in beating Walter to become the new champion. So both of these guys, I guess it all depends on who Vince wants more over there.
I had that thought. I was thinking about it, and it's been good that they've actually let this play out without them appearing like a kid has gone over, but he's still over here. I think that we are going to see a change, and that John Smith's favorite wrestler is going to win the title and will be NXT UK champion, and that Dragunov will be going across. I think that Vince has liked what he's seen when he saw the Walter Dragunov match and has kind of thought, I'll have him at some point. And he's bringing a few over, and now I think that Dragunov will be going across. So I'm picking Jordan Devlin to win and take the title.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be upset either way. I'm a big Jordan Devlin fan, so like I want him to succeed either whether he wins the championship or goes to NXT. Like I want him. This is his last crack at that title. I want him to be known as a former UK champion, so I'm gonna go with Devlin as well, just for that reason. I don't know if he can beat Dragunov. I'd love for him to do it. He's got to cheat though. He's really got to cheat. So we'll see. It's going to be a great match. Looking forward to that this Thursday. Before we let you go, Gar, NXT, they did a TV special this past Tuesday. What happened? Oh, yeah, spring breaking. So there was a match right there with our favorite Jersey guy. I Spy a Jersey guy with Nathan Frazier, your resident cowboy guy. Yeah. He defeated Grayson Waller. What are your thoughts on that? We were making fun of Nathan for the longest time that the dude can't buy a bucket. He can't win a match. And he's 1-0 overseas.
Yeah, he is. I was hoping that he would win when I saw it was coming, and he did. And obviously it was helped by Andre Chase getting the horn, obviously. And thanks very much. I've been waiting for 3/4 of an hour. It was really good. Nathan Fraser is amazing, and for everybody who's just seen him for the first time, you saw his mat wrestling at the start. You saw his high flying stuff that he can do, and I do think while it goes against everything that NXT 2.0 is, the style, I do think that he'll be the man. They could maybe pair him up with what's his name from, not Wesley, the other one.
Oh yeah, no, you're right, Wesley. All right.
Yeah, or Wesley. Yeah. They could maybe he's at Luke's end. They could put him there maybe, but no, I think Nathan Fraser, with winning his first match was good. It was a really good showing, and the crowd will really get behind him. He's absolutely fantastic. So
yeah, so good. So Gary, thank you very much for staying up late with us. Wow, we went 53 minutes strong. That's how we get ratings back, Gary. 53 minutes of Gary Mehaffy.
Gotta get those demos up.
Gotta get those demos up. The women love you, Gary. Thank you so much for staying up as always with us. Glad to have you back. Glad to see you. And we will definitely see you next week.
Yep. See you then.
We're going to bring back in John Smith, going to bring back in John DeConnie, and we're going to continue with spring breaking. John Smith, before the match started, before the NXT Championship match started, Joe Gacy said we're going to fear what's going to happen if he doesn't win the NXT Championship that night.
Yeah, and we got a lot to fear because Braun Breaker pretty much had his way with Gacy. I mean, Gacy is a lot more formidable than he's been made out to be the past, few months. But ever since he got rid of Harlan, he kind of like absorbed Harlan's intensity and I don't know, just his overall like status in NXT because he's right up in the main event. I mean, he pulled off some great moves in this match, but he couldn't get it done. He lost to a spear, I believe. But then after the match,
we got good with that one.
What's that?
That was a hard spear too. He got him good with that one.
Yeah, I guess because he probably couldn't press him over his head and do the press slam into the.
Yeah.
But at the very end, we get a bunch of, I don't know what they are, hooded people with red masks on their faces surrounding the ring, and Braun Breaker wondering what the heck's going on. So I'm wondering the same thing, and I don't think this is over by any means.
No, they did actually. They did keep the cameras rolling, like the WWE exclusive, whatever. The cameras cut at that point where druids, what they used to call them, the Undertaker had them. Yeah. So that's the last we saw on TV, but the cameras kept rolling, and they beat the holy hell out of Braun Breaker with chairs and carted him off on a barbed wire stretcher. So I guess that's what Joe Gacy was talking about, is there's going to fear what happens if he doesn't win the championship, and that's what happened. So there is that. So to be continued with Joe Gacy and Braun Breaker.
I didn't see that. What was that, on the internet after the fact?
Yeah, it was on. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know. Okay.
So Gary just sent me backstage. They just announced the brackets for tonight. So all right, we'll get to that. John Smith, also, we had a doozy of a triple threat match for the North American Championship. I'm going to do this for me. We haven't done this yet. This match I was excited for. It started the card, and it was awesome. It was everything I wanted it to be.
Absolutely. These guys, normally when you got a three-way and they're doing all these combo moves, it seems like so choreographed. But everything flowed so naturally between these three, and it ended with with Solo Sikoa with Hayes on his shoulders for a Samoan drop, but he gets caved in off the top rope by Cameron Grimes for the 3 count. But I mean, you could throw that graphic up again, because this was my winner as you also. This is definitely match of the night. You want to go back and watch this match if you haven't seen it. It's the first match on the card. You don't have to go searching for it. Just press play on NXT from May 3rd and just sit there for 20 minutes and enjoy, because these guys, the 5-star, no doubt.
Okay. Doesn't say which bracket's up first. Okay, whatever. I got the bracket. Thank you, Gary. He's already gone. All right, never mind. John Nakani, some interpromotional action. The Viking Raiders went down south, and I love the matchup with the Creed brother. You got 2 just bulls, or 4 bulls if you want to talk that, just barreling into each other. It's great.
Yeah, this was some good old-fashioned big man violence, and we got about 13 minutes of it. And this was you got the feeling that this was going to be. I mean, every time I think the Creeds are going to win, they're going to take the titles, or they're going to win a triple threat. They don't. So here, I thought this was just going to be like AJ coming down and beating Grayson Waller and saying, you're good, but you're not ready yet. I thought this was going to be the Vikings teaching the Creeds a little lesson. You boys are good, but you're not on our level yet. And just around the time that the Creeds started to take the upper hand back, you had Julius hit that cartwheel slam that he does on Eric, and it left Eric kind of hanging outside the ring over the bottom rope. Out of nowhere, Roddy, who wasn't even at ringside, I don't think, for most of the match, just did a drive-by jumping knee, clipped Eric right on the jaw. He kind of rolled back towards the center of the ring, which allowed Julius to hit that nasty basement clothesline and get the 1, 2, 3. And afterwards, I don't think the Creeds even knew what happened until afterwards they saw the replay, and they were not happy with their de facto now leader, Roderick Strong.
No, they weren't happy with Roddy at all. I don't think Roddy's happy either, from what I heard. Anyway, that's how rumors get started. Yeah. So I guess we got a rift going between the Creeds and Roddy, and it makes, I guess, the Creeds are getting cheered. They've kind of been face-ish in most of this stuff the past couple of weeks, and then now you have heel champion. They would. That's going to be a fun match when they eventually get their hands on Pretty Deadly. That's actually going to be a really fun match. Speaking of releases and whatnot, a really awkward meetup between Duke Hudson and Indy Hartwell. No more Dexter, no more Duke leaned in like a shithead that he is.
Yes.
So she rejected and I let her walk with. There's a history there with those two, so now they're that's good. Anyway, that was fun. A bottle of red, bottle of white.
I'd like to see the angle where he's chasing her for the next couple months and she finally gives in.
Yeah, I guess that's it's the only thing they have left to do with those two.
The story
John
writes
County
itself.
got my reference though.
How did they not write it into the story that Dexter ran off with Persia? Like, doesn't that just write itself?
Yeah.
Probably because they don't want to mention them. And that's sad that's the reason, probably.
Well, I guess there's still time. There's still time, and I guess the ring was off, right? That was what Indy was kind of just going like this.
She was just
the ring was
staring at her empty hand.
Well, she's left all right now. There's no more Dexter. There's no more Way. She's got Austin 3. She got her, I guess, her big brother up north, but yeah.
So when you get fired from NXT or WWE in general, you have to get a divorce also?
Apparently.
I guess. Yeah. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Anyway, but I was singing before scenes from an Italian restaurant, 2 Billy Joel references in one show. There was a sit down with Santos Escobar and Tony B. Skillish at an Italian restaurant. I guess they were talking over Mafia stuff, agreeing to disagree, I guess, calling for a truce. Then later, Legado del Fantasma kidnapped Tony D's advice guy, whoever that guy was. So the truce was broken right away, and now the war is going to continue.
Well, first of all, Al, that is his consigliere. And second of all, you should know who that is. That's AJ Galante, the former general manager of the Hartford Trashers. If you saw that documentary about the mob boss who bought his 17-year-old son a hockey team, that's him.
I'm well aware of the Trashers. The public ring I worked at before I went to the Devil Island. Their sister ring, the same owner, Floyd Hall, owned the Danbury. Yes, he owned the. I am well aware of who the Trashers are.
that was their GM, AJ Galante.
Perfect. There was a women's tag team match. Well, Cora Jade and Nikita Lyons defeated Natalya and Lash Legend after a split down. Is that the name of that?
I've just been Slam Slam.
A split down with Nikita does. John Smith's favorite move. Followed by a senton off the top turnbuckle by Jade. So as Gary was just telling me before, actually, here we go. These were our standings, our new NXT standings. After the one show after spring breaking, me and John DeConnie went 4-1, Ryan 3-2, Travis, Gary, John Smith. You all right? It's okay, pal. It's still early. It's okay. What we have going forward tonight, as I was mentioning, I just searched on Twitter real quick. I got them down for you. The women's breakout tournament is starting, and this is breaking news. This is the brackets that Gary said that just came out. So we have Nikita Lyons versus Ariana Grace. We have Fallon Henley versus Sloane Jacobs. Roxanne Perez versus Kiana James. And then Lash Legend, Tatum Paxley. Not sure what's going to be happening tonight. Which one of these matches? John Smith. Anything stick out to you here?
Well, first, I don't think Nikita Lyons should be a part of it because she's already a breakout. So I feel like she's going to end up in the finals, no doubt, but probably lose because they're not going to have her lose to somebody like earlier than that. But is it leading up to her versus Lash Legend? I don't think so. I think Lash gets upset in like maybe the semis, but I guess I'm going to go with Kiana James to win this, and that's just because I have no idea who she is.
All right, perfect. John DeConnie.
Yeah, I think it would, like John was saying, it would almost make more sense for Lash and Nikita to both cost each other their opening matches,
Yes.
because they've already, kind of got their thing going on there, and that would let the little Miss Santino move on through the first round, because I don't want to see her get squashed in the first round by Lions. Give me Roxanne Perez to win this one. I know I'm going against common sense because NXT didn't, she kind of was already a star before she made it there, so it almost smacks of the fact that they will never let her win this tournament. But I feel like she's kind of got a little storyline going behind her, and it would make sense to me, but probably not to them because I never really have any idea what they're doing down there at 2.0 anymore.
I like that. I like Nikita Lyons and Lash Legend both taking each other out, allowing Tatum and Ariana to advance. Give me Fallon Henley to advance on that one. Roxanne Perez, she's got a little bit of a thing going too, and I'll get into that. I guess now, I guess right after this. So I got Roxanne Perez winning that one, but she's going to get taken out by Toxic Attraction. That's eventually going to happen too. I'm going to go with the Tatum Paxley and Fallon Henley final here.
Nice.
And let the best woman win. Give me that one.
Hey, speaking of Toxic Attraction, did you see all those little segments on NXT last week?
Yes, that's what I'm just about to get into. Mandy Rose trying to get a quick base tan in before hitting the beach, got bamboozled by Wendy Cho, who snuck in and raised the temperature of the tanning bed, turning Mandy into a lobster. And then as Toxic Attraction, I guess they just went to the beach anyway, told Mandy to put on some aloe and just call it a day. But Toxic Attraction, they went to the beach anyway. They were splashing and playing with each other gracefully in their bikinis, as all women friends do. As it also is spring break tradition. Wendy Cho and Roxanne Perez, the aforementioned Roxanne Perez, stole their flippy flops and moved their cars to the Toxic Attraction, burned their feet, having to walk to their car. Clever little hijinks from Wendy Cho and from Roxanne Perez. So they're going to have a tag team match tonight. This is non-title. We have a pissed off tag team champions here, though, John Smith.
Yeah, that was very fun to watch last week. That was my second favorite part of the show. Was them. The winner is me personally. I got Toxic Attraction winning this one, getting a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, mine as well, even if it is not a title, John DeConnie.
Yeah, it depends on how much they sell what happened last week. I could also see a scenario where someone stomps on either Gigi or JC's feet, and their feet are still hurting them from last week. And since it is non-title, the good gals get a win over Toxic. So, give me Roxy and Wendy.
I'm gonna go Toxic Attraction as well. I think that their feet are fine. I think Mandy's still gonna be red as hell, and someone's gonna be like, "Hey man, hey, don't," like that, hit her in the back, or just accidentally touch her, and she's gonna lose it because she's in so much pain. Oh, I can't imagine the pain that she's going through. It's too bad Otis isn't there to put some aloe on it. Where's Otis? Otis wouldn't have let that happen. And then Alba Fire makes her re-debut. She will be going in action. Yeah, who? Alba Fire.
Oh, is that Butch's sister?
It's Butch's sister.
If not, she should be.
She should be, right. So that will do it for NXT, and we're going to switch gears now from NXT to Impact. And they had an Impact Plus special called Under Siege, of course, as always, every year. Impact always pays tribute to Steven Seagal in the wonderful movie that he was in. I never saw it. I guess it's about submarines or something. I don't know. A submarine that's being attacked, I guess.
But he's a cook. He's a cook on the submarine.
Is he really?
Yeah. His name's Casey Ryback.
Oh, his name's Ryback? Oh, that's
yes.
Okay.
He's taking people out with kitchen knives and stuff. It's great.
You don't mess. It doesn't matter what is it. You don't mess with Steven Seagal. That's just unless you're Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then that's. Did they ever have that fight on screen?
No, they never crossed paths. Maybe in the Expendables they did because everybody crossed paths there. But
Well,
I only saw the first one.
Maybe in June when AEW is doing their Forbidden Door thing, we can do Steven Seagal versus Jean-Claude Van Damme. Josh Alexander, he defeated Tomohiro Ishii to retain the Impact title after a C4. Absolutely incredible match. They beat the holy hell out of each other. I love the Stone Pitbull. A lot better than the Man of Stone Danny Jones. John LeConte, you've been watching UK. Did you see his knee pad on Thursday? Man of Stone.
Beautiful.
He's awesome.
Beautiful.
He's like the most inaction of inaction guys, and he's called himself the Man of Stone, Danny Jones. Anyway, a little bit of a story, though, before that match. Moose tried to hijack the show because he didn't get his rematch against Josh Alexander. He's like, I'm just going to stay out here and whatever. I just do what I want. And here it comes. I think we mentioned Sami Callihan briefly the last time I was on air. It's like, you know what? I don't miss Sami Callihan. And boom, right on cue. I guess it's been over a year, right? Sami, he was out for a while. And he attacked Moose, and Moose was the guy that injured him. So that's going to sidetrack Moose from Josh Alexander. Maybe probably they'll Bound for Glory till we get that rematch. And I'm sure that's the most poetic thing you could possibly do is have Moose and Josh Alexander the scene of the crime from last year where Moose ruined Josh Alexander's moment. I don't know if you heard, Josh Alexander he was in a car accident recently. That was crazy.
On his way to the show.
Yeah. So thank God he's all right, but geez.
Who did it, Rikishi?
Yes, it was Rikishi.
Who did it for the buck?
He did it for the Moose.
John DeConnie, I stole your thunder on that one. I saw your name next to something I screwed up, but we fast forwarding. I guess the tag titles once again in enemy territory. Even though I don't even know where the Briscoes work right now.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I guess they're home because I don't know that those guys. Well, they're certainly not going to AEW as we found out. So I guess they're safe for now, unless they decide to take them to Japan. But we had Violent by Design defending against the Briscoes, and it was Diener and EY in this particular matchup, and we had a little over 11 minutes of some redneck kung fu and some violence by design. And in the end, Jay got Diener up in the electric chair, and Mark completed the Doomsday device for the 1, 2, 3. And we've got new champions because they are like a magnetic force that championship belts are drawn to them.
Hashtag them boys.
Them boys.
Honor No More, they defeated the Bullet Club after a proton pack by Karl Anderson. Even in a 10-man tag team match, Karl Anderson has to be the one that eats the pin. Like, why is it always Karl Anderson? Chris Bay couldn't have taken a pin here. Like, it's anyway. Absolutely amazing 10-man tag. I gotta go back and watch that. I missed that one. I'm actually a little pissed about that. Tasha Steelz asked by a Jersey girl. She defeated Havoc to retain the Knockouts Championship after the blackout. Our other Jersey girl, she didn't do so well. Ty Valkyrie defeated Deonna Purrazzo after the Raw roll-up. I mean, God damn it. They're playing tug-of-war with the belts, apparently, and Deonna ended up getting rolled up after it. Ty Valkyrie retained the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. Post-match attack, Jersey style, by a pissed-off Deonna Purrazzo, thwarted by a returning Mia Yim, who went by the name Jade in Impact, but she's going to stick with Mia Yim. She is still the head baddie in charge, the HBIC. There was no physical altercation between Yim and Purrazzo. Purrazzo walked away, allowing Mia Yim to have her moment, other than the alternative of being stretched on your debut. I mean, Deonna was nice on that one. So, what a habit on that one. And our third Jersey competitor, our third of four Jersey competitors, Ace Austin, he defeated Trey Miguel with the fold to retain the X Division title. And then our fourth Jersey, a lot of Jersey in Impact right now, Mr. Purrazzo, John Smith, him and Chris Sabin. It's funny, you have all this stuff with Honor No More and the world title and that, and the women's division's awesome, and the women's title. Chris Sabin, Steve Macklin always find a way to get a spot on the card, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, this one didn't go the way I thought it would either. You know, I thought that Macklin would dominate, and there was a lot of Saban outsmarting him throughout the match. A lot of creative reversals, and Macklin slammed him into the post on the outside from the walkway, and dropped an elbow on him. That was pretty nice on the outside of the ring, but otherwise, it was just a back and forth match where Saban no sells Suplex City, clotheslines the heck out of Macklin, DDT off the top rope, and then a cradle shot for the 1-2-3. And Saban's looking strong.
Chris Sabin, hail Sabin. I love Chris Sabin. Good for him. Glad as I said, you didn't think you'd ever see him again after his Ring of Honor run. You thought he was, he's been doing this since like 2099. He's up there in years now. He's not a young kid anymore. He's not the future. That's what he came in billed as in TNA. And he's just sticking around. He's having a blast. And now he's got Alex Shelley's back in the mix. I don't know what happened to him on Sunday. I hope he's okay. But I don't know if the Machine Guns will ever get back together again. On the count, was also Giselle Shaw. She defeated Madison. And it goes Ryan Joyce theory, right? Tag titles, tag champions never win singles matches. It even happens in Impact. Giselle Shaw defeated Madison Rayne after a running knee to Madison's jaw. There were 2 matches on the Countdown show. Heath and Rhino, get out your cheese and crackers. Cheese and saltines. They defeated Raj Singh and Mahali Balashira after Rhino hit the gore. None of this would have happened if Rohit Raju was still around. Just want to throw that out there right now. And then Rich Swann defeated the Laredo Kid and Mike Bailey after a Phoenix Splash. We just found out before we went on air, they did announce one match for Impact this Thursday, but we will get to that in a second because we do have here are our new Impact standings. Travis still with a little bit of a lead here over Ryan Joy. Travis 11-4 so far in 2 shows for Impact, going 5-2 at Under Siege. We all had pretty good shows right there. Gary a little bit less than others, but I guess we'll pick it up in the name of Steven Seagal. We have El Phantasmo and Jay White representing the Bullet Club, going after opponents from just this past Saturday night. So now the Impact champion, Josh Alexander, and the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii. Sorry, Rye. They're going to get out in tag team action this Thursday, John McConney.
Yeah. I guess ELP's there to eat that loss, eat that pin, I should say. Because,
the Undertaker again.
Yeah, Jay White doesn't get the pin, and I don't see Ishii or Alexander eating one either. So give me Josh and Stone Pitbull.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, John Smith.
Give me Ishii.
And before we we'll probably we can do this while with Ryan. That's right. Ryan's not force fed to the top here. 1 second. Okay, we'll get him up there. Boom. Get Ryan back in the top spot where he's comfortable. Ryan Joy, real quick before we get to your indie segment. Here are the overall standings from this as the current standings. You are back in the lead, leapfrogging Travis Severance after your perfect pay-per-view for Backlash. 18 wins. John and Travis each was 17. I battled back 112-6 last week. John and Gary, I guess just up to their shenanigans. Like I said, it's still early. 48 shows or 46 or 48 shows last season. This is only show 4. Plenty of points still to come. But we have a new heading list going, and Ryan has Backlash on his list already. New picture of Mr. Perfect. I've decided to go the NWO Mr. Perfect. I know John Smith, he's got that belt in the background at his house. I love that belt. Yep, there you go.
Unfortunately, he was only Kurt Hennig there. He wasn't Mr. Perfect.
But they're called headings.
It's the Hennig.
There you go. Perfect.
It's called a Hennig.
Go back to that graphic one more time.
They're called headings.
What's it called?
Hennig.
Yeah. John Smith, you should be happy with the scoring right now because it goes matches and score all set. So the person with the best record also has the highest score. It goes all the way down.
Yep.
Yeah, for now.
Ryan, we'll just keep John and John real quick. I know we talked about getting your indie segment time. You don't have a lot to talk about. I'm dying to hear news on Ring of Honor, so you definitely keep me posted with that if I don't find it on my own. But I'm excited for when Ring of Honor starts up under the Tony Khan era, and I'm excited to see who's going to be on that roster. I'm loving that the Ring of Honor titles are being showcased, even though Deonna doesn't have hers anymore.
Yeah, Ring of Honor, we just don't have any news at this point about what's going to happen, except for the fact that, I can't remember if we talked about it on this show or not before, but, the idea that there's going to be a second show, we don't have any details. So in the meantime, enjoy your Samoa Joes and Jay Lethals and I guess Mercedes Martinez now on AEW television until we get there.
Right.
And also Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, Wheeler Yuta is the pure champion. That's exactly right. And speaking of Wheeler Yuta, nice segue.
There you go. So New Japan.
100 episodes, Ryan. I think we got the segues down pretty snappy right now after 100 episodes. Right.
New Japan announced the Best of the Super Juniors lineup a couple of weeks ago. Super Juniors is a round-robin tournament, 2 blocks, 10 wrestlers. It's going to start May 15th. It's going to carry through to June 3rd. And interestingly, the lineup, the 10 guys, very, very interesting lineup. You have the pure champion, Wheeler Yuta.
20
you
guys.
have the X Division champion, Ace Austin. You got Alex Zane in the A block there. He was Ari Sterling in NXT. You have Teton. He's from CMLL. El Lindemann, he's from Strong Hearts. People might remember him from back in the early days of AEW. El Phantasmo, who you've seen on Impact Wrestling. TJP, one of the best juniors of the world, every company he's in. And those are just kind of the outside names. Francisco Akira, also representing the United Empire under Will Ospreay. You got all the strong guys coming in, like Clark Connors. And then, you have your New Japan kind of faithful, your Ishimoris, your Yo and Sho, and Robbie Eagles, El Desperado. It's a really good lineup. Hiromu Takahashi,
There you go.
multi-time champion.
Yep.
Representing Los Ingobernables de Japón. So
And
definitely a good tournament here, and it's going to take about 3 weeks to conclude. So a lot of nights of action.
yeah, it's Ace Austin. I'm excited. I'm actually tuning. I'm trying to wake up and just see Ace Austin like in the Japanese setting and the NJPW setting. It's going to be great.
I'm excited. Ace Austin is going in with the title. The same thing with Wheeler Yuta.
Yes,
because if they weren't either one of those two guys, I think they'd lose a lot of matches. But because they're going in with the titles, I think the Impact front office and the AEW front office is going to insist that they do well, right? So I think they'll have competitive matches, and this could be really, really big for both of them.
All right. So anything else before we get into your neck of the woods here as our senior correspondent of All Elite Wrestling?
No, let's dive into AEW.
All right. AEW Dynamite. Speaking, like I said, Ring of Honor, Deonna Purrazzo is no longer their women's champion. They had a unification match. The word interim again. They had to crown an interim champion because Deonna couldn't make a Ring of Honor. I guess that last special that she had. So they crowned an interim champion. It was Mercedes Martinez. They unified the belts on Dynamite last Wednesday night. A lot of fun. Great to see Deonna in that setting. Hope she never goes back there again and stays in Impact forever.
I felt like the match suffered a little bit because Deonna had never been on AEW television, so she wasn't really introduced to the fan base. Also, Mercedes hadn't really been on much to like sort of promote her, so I felt like the crowd just kind of died off for this match. But I thought the finish was pretty cool. It was sort of like this modified surfboard guillotine combo that Mercedes does to get the submission win over Deonna, which I did not expect. Deonna never even fully got an armbar in on Mercedes throughout the entire match. Mercedes was never really in jeopardy, and she came through and tapped out Deonna Purrazzo. Code of Honor adhered to after the match. They did shake hands.
Yeah.
Mercedes seemed a little emotional. I'm not sure what that was necessarily about, except, hey, she's main eventing the television show. So That's
well,
big.
she's got a great story, right? I was happy for her too. Like, Deonna Purrazzo, normally, I had to take about 15 minutes and dry my eyes after the temper tantrum I've thrown. But this time, not so much because it's her story. And we've heard the Mercedes Martinez story since the first Mae Young Classic, where she's a mother first and wrestling always had to come second. And it's 20 years and it's just indie shows and never been able to make it again. And then she finally made it after all these years. It's a great story, and I'm very, very happy for Mercedes.
Absolutely.
Hangman Page, our AEW World Champion, did an in-ring promo. At Double or Nothing, there will be no handshake with Punk, and unfortunately, it won't be a masturbatory Bret Hart tribute match. I have, in parentheses, put away moisturizer. I forgot the prop for my joke. Son of a bitch. Anyway, so... Ryan, we also had a 6-man tag team match with the Butcher, the Blade, and Angelico. The Andrade front office. Is that still a thing?
I believe it is still. I haven't heard them disband it, but they kind of weren't branded that during this match, were they? I think this match was kind of upstaged by William Regal's promo ahead of it. If you didn't see William Regal's pre-taped promo, go back and watch it. It will scare you. Regal said that if a normal person had a knife and fight, they'd stab him. But if someone from the Blackpool Combat Club had a knife in a fight, they'd slice your face. So you'd have to look at that scar every single day and know what they did to you. Luckily, the Blackpool Combat Club did not have a knife in the 6-man tag. But it ended the same way that all of these Moxley, Danielson tag matches and even the 6-man tags with you, they seem to have it at the end where they're all in the ring and they're all in submission moves, and it gets to a tap out. Danielson used a triangle choke to get the official win, but Moxley held the guy down. Wheeler Yuta was kicking a guy out of the ring, so all 6 guys in the ring at the end. But Bryan Danielson, triangle choke for the win.
There you go. And I was also watching those videos when they were, I guess, initiating Wheeler Yuta. I guess there's no human resources, no HR in the Blackpool Combat Club. That's not.
Yeah, I'm thinking not.
Hazing is not only accepted, it is encouraged.
Exactly, right.
It is mandatory. It seems like.
John DeConnie, the Inner Circle is officially blown up, huh?
Indeed, yes. The Jericho Appreciation Society has taken its place because those ungrateful bastards, Santana and Ortiz, just weren't up to snuff. But Santana had a shot at Chris Jericho, and good psychology in this match because you absolutely believe that these two completely hated each other. It was physical. It was dirty. There was chaos going on at ringside. At one point, I forget what their new stupid nicknames are, but Parker almost used Floyd, but Ortiz was there to neutralize him. And the referees, because the AEW referees are just clueless, spent most of his time paying attention to what was going on the floor so Jericho could hit a low blow, follow with the Judas effect and the 1, 2, 3. And then afterwards, because they had the numbers advantage, why not? The Jericho Appreciation Society beat the living hell out of both Santana and Ortiz because they had the 5-on-2 numbers advantage.
Yeah, and Eddie Kingston wasn't around. They're going to have a victory speech. It's a celebration, bitches. There's some type of celebration this Wednesday night. Right, when I first got this picture, I thought that was Nyla Rose. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? Oh, it's that guy. It's Martel.
Not sure who that speaks poorly of, Nyla Rose or Martel.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, right. We had story time with Thunder Rosa Babitas, right, baby? Is that Spanish related? Anyway, she called out Serena Deeb eventually. They exchanged pleasantries, and they'll go at it at Double or Nothing. That should be absolutely amazing. And as irony would have it, or whatever coincidence, after all these years later, is it that they're called the Straight Edge Society, right? Both CM Punk and Serena Deeb both getting championship matches at Double or Nothing. There you go. The Varsity Blondes. Varsity Blondes in-ring promo. Okay, so I guess Brian Pillman. What a small world. So Brian Pillman and John Harbaugh were college roommates at the University of Miami, Ohio. Small world. Oh my god.
I guess somebody had to be Pillman's roommate. I guess.
Of all people that are John Harbaugh,
Yeah.
like of all people, that's crazy. I guess there was a quote that John Harbaugh likes to use that Brian Pillman Jr. Said, attack each day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind, which sounds exhausting. Jesus. But Pillman got his enthusiasm back, wants to fight the House of Black, and he got it, and they got their asses kicked. So that was irrelevant. Now we had this whole Julia Hart thing surfacing with the missing eye. That happened, 6 months ago? So we're finally getting around to it. Smart move, intelligent move by Malachi Black, knowing that Julia Hart is the youngest member on the AEW roster, sends Buddy Matthews to go to try and persuade her, because we all know Buddy Matthews, his track record with younger women in professional wrestling. Sends Buddy Matthews to try to get Julia. I've been waiting all weekend for that joke. To try to hit Brian Pillman or Griff Garrison, one of the two, with chairs. She eventually decided against it and rolled out of the way. Malachi had enough waiting for her, so there's still to be continued with Julia Hart and the House of Black and the whole thing. The Death Triangle came out for the save because they had the issue with the House of Black at this point in time. We had a fun match with Wardlow and W. Morrissey. Morrissey was MJF's surprise opponent. Wardlow got him after a powerbomb. After the match, Wardlow beat up all of MJF security. Wants a match with MJF to get out of his contract. Max agreed, but he has some conditions, and they will have be in a contract signing in, quote, the most magical place in the world, UBS Arena in Long Island, MJF's home, where it will be a love fest for Max come Wednesday, if it's a repeat of what it was the last time they were at UBS, which I'll get to again in a second. But with that contract signing, any fun stipulations, Ryan Joy, you could possibly think of that Max is going to put in this contract?
You know, when you look back at the ones he's had before, I mean, you know, Chris Jericho had to run the gauntlet. Cody had to do lashes and everything else and do a steel cage match against Wardlow. So I'm sure it's going to be brutal, but we don't have that much time to Double or Nothing. So I don't think it's going to be, you know, like 5-6 weeks of torment like we had in the previous.
Well, he's kind of been trying to do that to him with all these mystery with partners, with Wardlow's walking in handcuffs. So, John Smith, anything off the top of your head?
Maybe the one arm tie behind the back thing, and then he'll get it loose halfway through the match and destroy MJF eventually.
John DeConnie, MJF was recently in a dog collar match. Do you think it's time to break out the kitty collars?
Maybe not necessarily the kitty collars, but I think we might get an animal theme, since they have been calling him War Piggy. Maybe we get a pig pen match or something like that to make him belittle himself, slopping around in mud or something.
They booked a match with CM Punk, who hates Long Island and absolutely trashed Long Island, specifically the New York Islanders, and I'll get to that in a second, going against Long Island's own John Silver. The timing of this couldn't possibly be worse. For those of you who do not follow the National Hockey League, the New York Islanders recently just fired, for apparently no reason whatsoever, one of the best coaches in the league, Barry Trotz, who CM Punk did mention his last time at UBS. They fired Barry Trotz on Monday. No one knows why. They missed the playoffs once, I guess, in the 4 times he was coach of the year 3 years ago for the Islanders. Punk's going to mention this, and Punk's going to get booed out of the building again because he can't resist himself, and you have to play the heel going against John Silver is no accident. Going against a Long Island guy, like, Punk is going to be a good guy everywhere but Long Island going forward, and I think that's absolutely hysterical. And he will mention Barry Trotz and the Islander season on Wednesday, but John DeConnie, does that have any relevance towards John Silver winning this match?
No, I don't believe so. AEW has this magical thing where, you can, like WWE mentions when someone's in their hometown, et cetera, but the magic that AEW has where you can take two of the nastiest, most vile heels in Britt Baker and MJF, put them in their hometown, and they're more over than Hulkamania. So
yeah.
It's wonderful to watch.
And a lot of people say I have too much pride being from Jersey, rooting for like Deanna and Ace Austin and Nathan Frazier.
Nah.
I get it. John Smith, are you going to give Johnny Hungy a shot here?
No.
All right. Ryan?
CM Punk.
Okay. We have, for the first time in a while, we have an FTW championship match. Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, a part of Team Taz. They are the number one contenders for the tag team championship. So the Jurassic Express said, sure, we'll give you a shot at these if you give me a shot at this. So before we get to the tag team championships, we have an FTW championship between Ricky Starks and Jungle Jack Perry. John Smith.
I don't think that title should get passed around like that. So I'm gonna go with the champion retaining here.
Ryan Joy. I was gonna make a Ty Connie joke there, but that's for next segment, I guess.
That joke was made by
by Rampage. It was made on Rampage. That's
First Sky or whatever. Ricky Starks.
I don't see any reason to take it off him, especially since I don't know. I think everyone's going to keep their titles here, John McConney.
Yeah, I agree because, first of all, in Jungle Jack, you have one of the few people that Ricky Starks can convincingly spear and put down or use his Rochambeau on because he can, put 125 pounds on his shoulder, no problem. So, I'm sure there'll still be some heel tactics, but no problem with Starks winning this one.
I think this is going to be an incredible match, though. I'm really looking forward to this match. And now we have the Owen Hart Foundation. I love the Hart Foundation. That's very clever by Martha to put that in the name there. The Owen Hart Foundation tournament, both the men's and the women's tournaments, will start tomorrow night. Before we get to the brackets, we had two qualifiers from last week. We had Ray Phoenix. He defeated Dante Martin with a tombstone pile driver type maneuver. That was a weird maneuver by Ray. It was like a tombstone driver. Like he had him up, and then it was impressive.
Greetings from Asbury Park.
Was that a Michinoku driver? That was a variation of it? That looked weird. I don't know.
It was greetings from Asbury Park or wherever Ray is from.
Oh, gotcha. From Parque del Asbury. And then in the other one, Jeff Hardy, he defeated Bobby Fish to qualify after a swanton. Fun note after that match, the Young Bucks came out for a little stare down with the Hardys before checking on Bobby Fish, their Undisputed Elite brethren. So I know that was a big deal all those years ago in Ring of Honor when the Hardys and the Young Bucks went at it, and it's probably going to get that same press again because not everybody saw that first match where the Hardy Boys defeated the Young Bucks for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. So anyway, here are the brackets that have been announced. We have 7 people qualify, and we have a Joker. We can only assume is Matt Sydal. But we got Ray Phoenix going against Kyle O'Reilly. Samoa Joe's got the Joker. And then we have the 2 matches on the right that will be Wednesday night. First, we're going to go with Adam Cole and Dax Harwood. Ryan Joy, who do you like in this one?
Oh, I like this match a lot, but
It's
Adam
interesting,
Cole.
yeah.
Adam Cole's going to win, but I think the match could be great.
Triple H is going to love this match too, John Smith.
Yeah. Give me Adam Cole. I think he's going far in this one.
All right, I'm going to go with Adam Cole as well. John DeConte.
Yeah, make it a clean sweep. I'm going with Cole.
Adam Cole. I really like that. Anyway, and then my buddy Brian Eberle. This is pretty much a winner as him, or again maybe a wet dream as him after this match. Darby Allin, Jeff Hardy. This is a match when Jeff Hardy first came out, when he first debuted, and he saved Matt from whatever attack that was happening, and Darby and Sting were in the ring. I looked at Jeff and Darby. I'm like, this is going to be a match that everybody is going to want to see. And I actually like it better that it is in this tournament where they're both faces. There's no BS. They don't need a story. Just get Darby Allin on one side, just get Jeff Hardy on the other, and just let the best man win. Let the best man advance. And I think this is the best possible way. Now, after this, if you want to do some type of darker story where Willow comes in or Darby Allin goes super emo or whatever it is, I think that would be great too. But I think I like this as a first start to a potential maybe series of matches or feuds with Darby Allin and Jeff Hardy, John DeConte.
Yeah, it's going to be a special night, as Darby said. It's going to be very interesting, and I think Darby comes out on top because that's the way it probably should be, but it will definitely be thoroughly entertaining.
John Smith.
I've been texting my son for the past minute. What are we picking right now?
Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin after my emotional, motivated speech.
Oh, man. That one's hard. The winner faces Adam Cole or no?
Yes.
Yep. That side of the bracket.
Give me Darby then.
Ryan.
Oh, the winner it is on the Adam Cole side of the bracket.
It is on the Adam Cole side of the bracket. I just deleted it. If I can.
All right. So give me Jeff Hardy here, and then there's going to be a bunch of nonsense when the Jeff Hardy Adam Cole match, which then leads us to the Hardys and the Young Bucks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I just think
Can't
this makes. I think Darby's gonna want to lay down for Jeff. Like that'd be so cool to get Swanton. I think that's like maybe it's on every young wrestler's bucket list is to get Swanton and pinned by Jeff Hardy. I don't know how much these people love Jeff Hardy or not. I'm sure Darby's one of them since they're kind of alike stature wise. I'm sure Darby looked up to him.
They should look at how Jeff Hardy does those swantons because it's more like a cannonball on the person these days. He's just like,
yeah, he's been getting them good. He's been laying hard on. Yeah. Normally, when he first did it, it was kind of like he got the back of his head on it. It was very safer. As I guess Edge put it, he's potatoing people. I guess.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then on the women's side, we're gonna go to Rampage. We're gonna talk about what happened on Rampage, and it'll leak into what's going to happen tomorrow night in the. Ooh, that's not good. In the women's part of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, Riho defeated Yuka Sakazaki to qualify for the tournament via the Raw roll-up. Check one for AEW. So she was the last one to qualify, if I'm remembering it. So here is the women's tournament. Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, we're going to get to that match. Britt Baker, she's got the Joker. I guess in this case it should be Harley Quinn. We got Red Velvet against Hikaru Shida. And then we got the other match we're going to talk about. So we have two matches. They got on opposite sides of the brackets. I'll leave this up. I'll take off the logo so we can, you know it's Riho, and I'm not lying to you. What's just happened? Okay, there we go. There we go. We got Ruby, Riho. So we had Toni Storm and Ruby Soho. They defeated Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter on Rampage last week. Another Raw roll-up. Rampage had two back-to-back Raw roll-ups. Toni Storm on Britt Baker. So the first match we have is going to be Wednesday on Dynamite, and it's going to be Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm. Before we get into this, anybody see the meme there was a coffee cup with 3 Jamie Hayters in it? Hey, cup of haters! A cup of haters! I thought that was really fun.
hosted by Enzo.
Ryan
I
Joy,
think.
you laughed the loudest on that one. You can pick first on this one. You
Tony Storm. I
Jamie
think
Hayter. Winner's getting Bricker or Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I think it's Tony Storm. I think she's going to get the win over Jamie Hayter here, and she's the shiny new toy, and Jamie hasn't really been pushed. If Jamie were to have split from Britt Baker, I might give it a second look, but Tony Storm.
Okay, John Smith I'm just throwing out there now. We have a potential of a Jamie Hayter Britt Baker semifinal.
Yeah, no, give me my girl Tony.
Is that picture still? I can see I had a picture in the bottom corner.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, the picture I knocked over by accident. John DeConnie.
Yeah, for exactly the reasons that Ryan laid out. If Hayter wasn't still with Britt, then that would make that much more exciting. But I think Tony moves on here, and damn it, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, give me Tony Storm as well. Like I said, she got the win on Rampage. She rolled up Britt Baker, so if that happens to be in the second round, there's a little bit of a story to that one. And then on Rampage this Friday night will be the other women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament match. And
We don't have a graphic, no graphic for it.
No, that's right. There is no graphic for it. That's right. I thought I maybe delete it. It's Ruby, Riho. John DeConnie.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Riho and Sheeta in the second round would be very interesting, but I'm gonna go with Ruby. Give me Ruby Soho winning this one.
Now, Ryan Joy, Riho, she went an all black outfit, like almost evil heelish. Did she heel turn and I missed it? She looked like
no,
evil.
But I noticed that too. Usually she wears like a little ballerina-esque outfit, and she was wearing all black this time. So interesting. But this is really is the weird side of the bracket because Red Velvet's getting a little bit of a push due to association with Jade Cargill. And then Riho, she just got this win to get in, and she just kind of like reintroducing her. But Ruby's right there being involved in the Britt Baker nonsense. So I'm going to pick Ruby to advance. But I don't like that Riho is just coming back and then she's going to lose here. Like John said, I'd like the idea of Riho and Sheeta in the second round, but I almost think it's going to be they get the losers bracket. And we're going to have Red Velvet and Ruby, and those two are probably not going to get out of the first round.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ruby Soho as well, John Smith.
I'll go against the grain here. I'm going to go with Riho. Protect your first champion.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's going to be a tough. I don't want to. I just delete. Actually, no, I still have the men's brackets. So the women's brackets right here. Who do you have winning this whole thing? Real quick, Ryan Joy.
It's tough not knowing who that Joker is, but give me Ruby Soho.
All right, John DeConnie.
Not knowing who the Joker. I mean, I don't see the Joker getting past Britt anyway, unless it's something really weird that they decide to do there. It's hard for me to not pick Britt to win this whole thing.
Yeah. John Smith.
Yeah, I can't possibly think of anybody that could come in and beat Britt Baker in that first round match, but I got Tony Storm winning out of all these names. Britt Baker doesn't need to win this. Maybe it's one of those things, though, where she deserves to win it and she wins it because she deserves it. Maybe it's one of those kind of things. But if they're trying to push somebody, there's really no reason for her to win it.
Yeah, I actually some rumors going around, or maybe it's just whatever, that both Jokers are going to be Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. I think that'd be fun.
That would be sick.
Yeah,
I would love that.
I just think it's fun. It could set up here. I got Britt Baker in this tournament. I got Adam Cole in this tournament. Are we looking at a Britt Baker versus Adam Cole finals here?
That match could be hardcore.
Yeah, it's. Oh, that just was.
Is that going to be a bra and panties match?
Yeah, they're bra and panties match. I'm sure they had those matches off camera. Anyway, so Ryan, Jay Lethal, he had another opponent, a gentleman
Takeshita.
Takeshita?
We'll go with Takeshita.
Takeshita.
So Jay Lethal versus Takeshita here. Lots of big moves, including Takeshita clotheslining Jay Lethal off the top rope. So they're both standing on the turnbuckle, and Takeshita hit this clothesline and clotheslined Lethal off. It was kind of cool. Don't see that very often, but in the end, it was a lethal injection for the pinfall victory. Jay walks away the winner here. Following the match, Lethal and crew, Sanjay Dutt and and what's his name? Satnam Singh. They started beating up on Takeshita. That brought out the best friends. Satnam Singh beat up the best friends. Samoa Joe came out before Orange Cassidy could get his butt kicked too. So, but Joe was restrained by security and did not actually get involved. That's the Baltimore security keeping him.
It's always Joe. Like there was no security for best friends in Orange Cassidy. Like they just let that guy let them go. Oh, Joe, I'm gonna stop this guy.
Yeah. Joe could do something. Let's hold him back.
Hook defeated in action. JD Drake, is he in action? I don't think so. I've heard that name before. Post match, Danhausen was very nice, very evil. Love that Danhausen. Love that YouTube. Did anybody else get that? Love that Danhausen. It's the Joker reference from the first Batman. Love that Joker. Love that Danhausen. He won me over with his YouTube video. I like Danhausen a lot. Never seen him wrestle, but I guess it doesn't matter, right? Danhausen, very nice, very evil, asked Hook to be in his corner in his match against Tony Nese, potentially Friday. Match wasn't signed, but let's play pretend here at Ryan Joy. You got Danhausen and Tony Nese in Long Island. And, this match is happening. It's at UBS. You're gonna put Tony
it's tough
Nese
because, Tony Nese gets Mark Sterling. You think he's getting a little bit of a push. He's going to be in, he's going to be in Long Island. That's where the show is. He's a hometown guy. But I don't think Danhausen's going to lose his first match out unless there's a really long arc where Danhausen loses all his matches until Hook finally, signs up to be his buddy. That I could see maybe that. But I'm going to pick Danhausen.
So I'm Russell
We
Powers
did.
again?
Yeah, we did. We did see that.
Oh, wow.
John Connie.
Yeah, along the lines of what Ryan is saying, I think maybe that's the story to tell here. You give Tony the win in his hometown, and maybe he does something, him and or Sterling do something underhanded because Hook isn't there in Danhausen's corner, and Danhausen continues to, beckon to Hook to be in his corner, and then finally gets the win when he has the backup of Hook. So give me Tony Nese winning this first one.
All right. John Smith.
I was going to say that.
There you go. Perfect. I like that too. Get Tony Nese in his hometown. Now, are they going to be called Hookhausen if they team up? Like, is this going? Are these going to be tag team champions?
Don't tell me the merch isn't already made. The Hookhausen merch is already made.
I don't think they'll be tag champs. I think Blackpool Combat Club's going to be tag champs.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. And then Scorpio Sky in the last segment, and the last thing we're going to pick Scorpio Sky, our TNT champion, is keeping his word. He is granting Frankie Kazarian his the title match that he promised Frankie. Scorpio wants to be a fighting champion and bring honor back to the title and not have it passed around like Ty Conti. Oh, burn. But yeah, SCU, the first ever AEW World Tag Team Champions. I really hope Christopher Daniels is a special guest referee in this one, but or maybe at ringside or a timekeeper. I don't know. Maybe CD, the Fallen Angel, should be around somewhere. John Smith.
Yeah, I don't know who to pick here.
All right, we can just hope both guys have fun. That's fine.
Yeah,
John Connie.
I think this one will be great because Kazarian we know can still go, so him and Sky will put on a hell of a match. But I see Scorpio Sky retaining.
All right, Ryan Joy.
Yeah, Scorpio Sky retains. I like Frankie, but he is not going to be the TNT champ.
There you go. And I really am enjoying all these TNT championship matches on Rampage, on TNT. Like they're doing that. That's correct. I like that. But then it also puts Jade Cargill on Dynamite, which I don't want. But we haven't seen her in a while, so.
She mostly wrestles on Rampage too, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, that's what a TBS is. Very funny, right? Isn't that the whole thing?
There you go.
All right, so that will do it. We got a couple quick promotions that we got to do. We got the Black Cats NYC, the official band of the Eastern Observer. Where'd they go? There they are. They got their album Free Cake on all of these music platforms. Anywhere you get your music, you can get the Black Cats NYC album Free Cake out now. Play loud. As always, the Essential Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com, the internet leader in sports entertainment pick and pools. Join us in the Essential Wrestling Podcast public pool to play against us, or you can create a private pool with you and your friends. ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends, play against the universe, and guys, she will like it too. Join us back here next week when we get back to basics. EWP 101. Hey. Episode 101 on all of these platforms. You can watch us live on YouTube or on Facebook. Just search the Eastern Observer and you will find us. Please make sure you subscribe and like our videos. It does help us out. If you happen to miss us live, you can check us out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, anywhere you can get music or podcasts. You will be able to get the Essential Wrestling Podcast, and we sincerely thank you for joining us today. We are sorry we took so long to get back. My voice isn't even in shape anymore. I'm starting to get raspy on these last couple of minutes here. I'm excited to be back. John DeConnie, anything from you before we leave?
No, just like you said, glad to be back. Glad to be, falling into a pattern here. It'll be great.
There you go, John Smith.
Yeah, happy to be back, man. I didn't realize I was going to miss it so much.
Yeah, right. Once like 1 o'clock this afternoon ahead. I'm like, God damn, it's 4 o'clock yet. Can we just take the pre-production? Yeah, when we got the pre-production, like, oh my God, an hour. Like, can we just get the show going? Brian Joy.
Congrats on 100 episodes of EWP.
Yes. Thank you. Very well put. Thank you very much to everybody at the Eastern Observer. Thank you very much, Tyler Adele. Thank you very much, Joseph Kennedy Narzenka. Thank you very much for allowing us to have fun with each other each and every week. And here's to 100 more, boys. John
Never
DeConnie.
forget, Cody is trash.
Cody is trash, but remember, garbage can, not garbage can. Alexa Bliss, we love you.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. Larry Stephen, forever in our hearts. John DeConnie, take us home.
Thanks for joining us. As always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
He was a cook named Ryback. That is so weird.
Feed me more.